Morning, Jim Distortion doing Daily Short for Distortion. Got issues in my van waiting to weigh in at Slimming World. I put on weight this week, so it's all going to be terrible. Are we heading for a dystopia? Are we heading for a country where everything is grey and black? We're dictated to by a corrupt government who are purely self-serving, who have no real control over anything apart from using force. I don't think so. Dystopia, from the Greek, that literally means bad place. I think what we're heading into is just a time of political uncertainty and nobody knows how to plan for it. I've seen that, warehouses are stockpiling stuff to the tunes of tens of millions of pounds worth of stuff so people won't, starve to death. I think everyone's a little bit worried that, we're going to go back to food riots and rationing or whatever. But, there's nothing to say that this is all going to turn terribly, terribly wrong in a day-to-day life. Level. There is an inkling that basically we're in for a time of unrest and our money might not be worth very much in the rest of the world. But, the trouble with all of this Brexit is it was sold to us on a lie, and now people are digging their heels in who wanted it to happen, maybe because they genuinely believe it's the best thing. And you can't dismiss somebody else's opinion. I didn't want to leave the EU simply because I think if you can fix something, you can fix it best from the inside. The only trouble with that is that people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. There are friends of mine who are hard Brexiteers who want out and don't want to be told what to do by Europe. The brutal fact of the matter is that Europe gives us all of our trading options at this point, but there's nothing to say that we can't trade in other places. We're going to have to rebuild, and as we're a country that was built on an empire and then was put together with all that, now we're just a small island. That's a little bit hard to see how that's going to be anything. We're still one of the powers of the world, so it's a strange time. And, dystopia is a horrible concept, 1984, George Orwell, that kind of thing. Bad places, bad things, corrupt governments. The only trouble with government and political system as well is it is entirely broken, because even if you've got 10% who are self-serving and 90% who aren't, those 10% can influence votes, influence people, and they can get what they want. And I think that the political system isn't ideal, Also, when the political system then turns around to us as people to decide their fate, David Cameron put it in our lap and made us decide, the fate of the country. And it was a 54 to 46% vote, I think. That was where it went in favour of Brexit. Well, that's not a majority, is it? That's 4% of the country has swayed it. So don't be too down, don't be too downhearted. Let's just look at it rationally. Yeah, we've got a government who's completely incapable of doing anything in our eyes, but also we don't know how hard that is. Theresa May seems to have an agenda, but I don't know whether it's self-serving or government owning. At the end of the day, the whole country, so we're told, this 4% of the country, 54% of the country voted for Brexit. So what's she supposed to do? Having another referendum because we think we'll win this time is exactly the same mentality as Corbyn putting in a no vote the other day because he thinks he'll win when he doesn't have a chance otherwise. I think a lot of the times you have to understand that, politics isn't cut and dried. There's loads of grey area. But also, we don't believe in that system anymore simply because politicians seem to be corrupt. They seem not to be able to, just take what they're owed. And they get paid a lot of money for doing it as well, and so they should. They work hard. But, don't start talking about pay rises when you haven't given the nurses or anyone else a pay rise in years. So it's difficult to take emotion out of politics simply because there seem to be so many lies. And when you're lied to by so many politicians and people to get their own agenda through, which is the way politics has gone now, it isn't as simple as stating a case and then watching it unfold. It's influence by perception in social media, by perception on television, by perception of all media. And if you take that route and you get everything that's spoon-fed to you, all you're going to see is the political line that they want you to see. It's a little bit frustrating at the moment because we don't know what we're going to do. We don't know how it's going to roll or anything like that. I don't think we're heading to, the bad place. I think we can make this work. And I think everyone should maybe stop trying to, you know, lick their wounds or lick their hurt if it didn't go the right way, and look into what they can do to make changes. You know, if we all start thinking about positive ways of making changes in this country while the things are open to change, you know, if we're going to do trade deals with everyone else, you know, we need to take our strength into that. The small man, the small artisan, people who are making stuff, you know, that may become important again, and I hope so, because that's what I do. But dystopia isn't here yet. Don't despair. It's not the end of the world. It's just a political chicanery, I believe the phrase is. All right, I better go and weigh in. If you wouldn't mind with that thing, yeah. And there are loads and loads of videos now. We're up to 50 videos. Take your pick. Go and have a look. Talk to you tomorrow.